All right, welcome back. It's time for us to get into consumer tech segment. And today we're talking about security for your vehicles, how to secure your cars. Now, Eduardo Poku, who is, in fact, I don't even know how to describe him. He's a techie of all sorts of different things, So he's a techie in terms of the computer stuff, but he's also a techie, he's just a gadget man. That's basically what he is, He loves all the gadgets and the gizmos and all those things. But it's a brilliant person for us to speak to regarding this, because he also hosts the Auto Show on 97.3 Citi FM, and he's best placed to have this conversation with us because it's a vehicle. All right. Eddie, good morning. How are you? It's good to have you here. Yeah, I see you posted something this morning on, was it this morning or last night? On your channel on TikTok, and I was like, there goes Eddie. Yeah. It's good. So security for vehicles.
In recent times, there's been a lot of reports of cars being, stolen in such a manner that, people are sleeping just close by and they did not get any wind of it. You wake up in the morning, your car vanished. Somebody will go to the supermarket, park the car, get into the shop, comes back, and the car has vanished without a trace. So it begs the question, how do we secure our cars? I have a video. We'll get the video playing. Then we'll an example of one of these
cars being stolen.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look at that.
Yes.
Under the cover of night, two men stalk the side of this Miami home. One in a red hoodie holds a black box blinking green. Then in a matter of moments, steals the signal from a key fob inside, allowing his accomplice to use a second device. He pops open the door of this SUV, and the pair drives away with another man's car.
Once they unlocked my car, the one gentleman came in. Apparently he disconnected something, and then they started my car and drove right.
All right. So
yes. So in that video, you saw one of these things happening. So they have a gadget, and what it does is to steal, as it were, the signals that come from your remote control fob. Okay. So we have different types of car keys. Okay. We have the very traditional one, metal, and it doesn't have anything in it. Okay. So a car like that uses a key like that. If you want to steal it, without the key, first you have to get into the car by breaking into the door. Then you hot wire the cables. Then the next hurdle is to break the steering lock. So you hold on to the steering wheel and yank it really, really hard for it to break. That's difficult because it takes a lot of effort. You need to know what you're doing. And in the process, you're going to make noise, so the probability you're going to be caught is higher. Okay. Then we have the second set, okay, where you have a key, looks quite simple, but it has a chip embedded into it.
Okay.
So what happens is that if you're going to start your car, you put it in the key lock and you turn it. Then your car will verify if the code in the key is the correct one before it allows the car to start. So with that, you have to find a way of getting hold of the key, knowing what kind of code is on it, and making copy of it. Then you can physically come and use it to start the car. So that's also much more difficult. Okay, but unfortunately, with our quest for development, better working stuff, we have these new ones.
Okay.
What these keys do, okay, we call them smart keys, key fob, remote key, etc. What they do is that they are always emitting signals. Okay, always emitting signals, so that I can just walk to my car with this key in my pocket. I just touch the door and it will open and let me in. And once I'm in,
because you're close enough with the signal.
Very good.
Okay.
So what happens is that it sends two levels of signals. One is a longer range, so I can stand from afar and open the door for somebody to get into the car.
Okay.
The other one is if I want to use a keyless service, which means I have to get closer and reach for the door and it opens. Because the car can sense that the key is within reasonable range. And it opens up, it immobilizes the car, and it allows me to move the car. Now, what is happening is that with that gadget, which you can readily get on the market. People are buying it, and what it does is to, if let's say you go to bed, you keep your key, maybe you hang it in the kitchen or in the hall, okay, the signal is being emitted, but it's not strong enough to get to where the car is.
Okay.
So they bring that small device that the gentleman was holding behind the window. What it's going to do is pick that signal and amplify it or relay it to a second device that will be with somebody who is standing close to the car. Okay, and the device has the controls for open and close and those things. So probably maybe you can see the second video.
Okay.
Yes, that has graphically depicts what's happening.
Let's take a look at that.
This with one thief standing by the house and intercepting the signal from the key fob, which can be up to 30 feet away, then passing it off to thief number 2 and his side device, which tells the car it has an authentic signal. All of this in under 60 seconds. Something like this, with one thief standing by the house and intercepting the signal from the key fob, which can be up to 30 feet away, then passing it off to thief number 2 and his side device, which tells the car it has an authentic signal. All of this in under...
All right, so that's the other one.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, so you can see how complicated but simple it is to steal a car with a very, very complicated system like this. A lot of security services are on the police, are on the manufacturers to, as it were, improve or put in place checks and balances. They have done certain things, but it's still not good enough. But how do you secure your car?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'll say, okay, turn that service off. Okay. So you have the service that allows you to keyless entry into your car. You can turn it off. Okay. Sometimes you
on the remote.
Some cars you can press a combination of keys on the remote and turn it off. Other cars you have to go into the car and use the infotainment. I have a video for that also. You can go into the infotainment and you have it in there. Different cars have different procedures, and so you have to get familiar with your car. And that also begs the question: are people reading the manuals that come with their cars? Okay. For example, this particular key, I can press it, or when I get close to the car and I touch the driver's door, okay, I can set it up such that immediately I touch the driver's door, all the doors unlock. Okay. Now, what happens is that if somebody knows that that's how you set up your car, the person can trail you. When you are getting into your car, you press or you touch the door to unlock. Okay, as you are entering, the person enters your car as well.
With you.
Okay, so you want to set it up such that when you use it, it's only the driver's side that opens. Okay, then again, when I close the door and I'm leaving, the car will, after a few seconds, the car will lock by itself. Okay, and it will give a chime. Okay, or it will beep. Is there a beep? Okay, sometimes someone might have turned it off because the person does not want attention. Okay, so if you buy that car, how do you turn it back on so that you have that audible alert that the car is really locked? Because if you don't, somebody can enter the car. If the person is not even able to steal your car, the person can steal some of the contents of your car, and you don't want that to happen. So that is also...
Should we look at that video as well?
Yes, probably we
Let's
can
look
look
at
that video. So that you have door unlock mode, which I just spoke about. You have access light flash, so the lights on the car will flash when it's engaged. All these things are things that alert you to what is happening. Yes, very.
Take us through this one again.
Yes. So what you can see in the video is you go into the vehicle settings in the infotainment system, then under keyless access setup, okay, you can turn off the remote start stop. So if you can stand a distance away and start your car, you can turn that function off. Door opening, so whether it is a driver only or all doors. Only. Yes. Yes. Okay. Then if you want the light to flash, if you want it to beep. Okay. So yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So very interesting, but there are things that you have to pay attention to. Unfortunately, different cars come with different kinds of setup, and it begs you to read your user's manual and get very familiar with your car. Okay. Another thing that people talk about is how to stop the signal from your key fob from being relayed, like we saw in the video. So you have things like RFID blockers. Okay. Now these are containers, pouches, etc. that you put the key in it when it's not in use. Okay, so you can see a picture. That's an RFID blocking box.
Okay.
That is a pouch for the key fob.
So you can literally just maybe you have to keep that on you somewhere.
No, so if I'm going around, I might probably use the pouch.
Okay.
Okay, but at home I might have that box.
And the pouch is also a blocker.
Yes, it's also a blocker. Okay. So when I get home, I just drop it
in the box at home.
These days we even have wallets that block RFID because you know with contactless, if you are not careful, somebody can just scan your card and pay for something you did not really order. So these are RFID blocking devices.
Okay.
Physically also you can use things like the steering wheel lock. Okay, the steering wheel lock, which is a physical, mechanical device that you are going to lock onto your steering wheel and prevent it from being turned. So if the person is able to gain, electronic access to the car, the person still can't drive the car away because the steering wheel is locked. Yes, I mean for extreme, you can even lock your wheel. So all these are things that you have to consider in these times when people can just take your car and just go.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. All right. So for the general viewer that's watching that has, a high-end vehicle, with all these trappings and everything else, just walk us through the steps again. You have a key that you can start your car from outside. You can use your, just as soon as you get close to the door, you can just open it and all of that. What would the preference? A blocker would be the preference?
I think the blocker will be great. If you can get the box in your home, it will be great. If you can get the pouch, it will be great. Without that, if you are going to park the car at a place that you don't trust, you can disable it for that moment. It's a bit of a chore, having to block it and unblock it later. But then, if that is what you need to secure your car, mind you, the car is supposed to be the next biggest investment for most households after a house, So you want to protect it as much as. So when you are parking your car somewhere, you don't, you just make sure. Then again, if you have contents in the car, you make sure you get them out. Sometimes, yes, you have to carry all these things along, but it is important so that people don't break into your car.
So give us sort of range when you're talking about RFID blockers. If you're looking for the pouch, for example, what sort of range in terms of cost are we talking about here?
Okay, so for the ones that I've seen around, usually in a range of maybe $5 to about $20.
Okay, so
it shouldn't be something expensive. Yes.
Okay.
In fact, people say that you can even protect it using a foil. A kitchen foil. I haven't tried it before. Yes, I haven't tried that before, so I can't say. Then talking about securing your car, also one of the
it should be quite easy to test.
Yes, of course.
You can actually wrap your key with a foil and go to your car and see if the car door opens. If it opens, then it's not working.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and one of the things that a story I heard recently of a gentleman who bought a car. So met at the mall with the guys who sold the car. They saw the car, they examined it, everything. So they went inside the mall to exchange funds and all those things. When he finished, they gave him a key. When he came outside, the car wasn't there.
Ooh.
So if you are buying a car, usually if you buy a brand new car, it comes with two keys.
Yes.
One will be active, the other one will not be active. Usually you go through a set of procedures to activate a key. Probably you can have one key, your wife will also have one key, and you activate and you use them. You can actually go and buy a third key and program it to your car. Okay. But sometimes when they are selling the car to you, they keep the extra key. So if you're having the extra key, they can give you one key and go and move the car. Otilo.
No. Eddie, how do people get in touch with you if they want to find out more?
On Twitter, you can go to @Edipoku. On Instagram is @Mifriasante. And Facebook and every other place is Edward Opoku.
Okay, super. Well, we've been learning how to protect, to secure our vehicles. It's very important. You make such a huge investment, and then for a pittance, really, to protect your car, you get robbed. I don't think that it's worth it. Well.